Hello, good evening. We are going to be talking about fasting today. It is Matthew 6, 16 through 18. So, fasting. What does fasting mean? Well, you can tell by looking at me, I don't do a whole lot of fasting. I don't miss a whole lot of meals. Fasting means that you're missing a meal, okay? So, I can remember growing up, the Free Baptists did not teach, and they still don't. They still don't teach a lot on fasting. So I had to go buy me a book. I went and bought me a book on how to fast. And it was called Fasting for a Spiritual Breakthrough. I'm sure you can find it used on Amazon. And there are different fasts. There's the fast of Daniel. I didn't have the books out in the garage. I don't have it handy. But there's different fasts. So the first one that I want to tell you about is the fast where you can just fast from eating meat. And there's another fast where you fast completely of food and just drink water. And then there's a fast where you fast and no food, no water. Now, some of us take medicine, so that's not a good idea. I mean, if I was going to fast, I'd have to fast just without something pleasurable like cheese dip, potato chips, pizza, and I would have to just eat bland stuff, when I have to take medicine. So, but then when you fast, you should probably write down what you're wanting to break through. What are you wanting for your spiritual breakthrough? And maybe look up some scripture. And if you want me to, I can expound on this some, because the Free Baptists don't teach it. And I think there should be more teaching on this. Now, I've got some things I want to say on this, so hang tight. But you should write down how long you want this fast to last. What do you think will happen? What do you want to happen? Your goals, scripture based on what you want, what you're trying to achieve. Like if you want to know what your future should be. A lot of this, though, I'm going to tell you something. In my experience of fasting, Satan comes after me hard. Comes after my family. So when you fast, you should pray, God, protect me and my family from this. And if you're going around fasting and all you're doing is thinking about food, it's not being a productive fast. Another thing, I think in fasting in my life, I also realize there's just something you just have to trust God. Just sometimes when you pray and you ask for things, it's a learning experience. You have to trust God that He's going to answer your prayers. They don't evaporate when you pray. Those prayers are with God forever. So let's talk about this a little more. Let's delve into it a little bit. So when we, in the last few verses, we've been talking about giving, praying, and fasting. And Jesus here is denouncing doing any of these for show, of course. And so how you treat these, giving, praying, and fasting, is how you're going to be rewarded. Think about that. You don't have to look weird. You don't have to put on sackcloth. Now the Pharisees fasted every Monday and Thursday in biblical times. But Israel was only commanded to fast on the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Atonement Day. But the Pharisees always wanted to one-up God, so they would require that you fasted every Monday and every Thursday. So it means to abstain from food, like breakfast. We break our fast at night with that meal in the morning, breakfast. It's always connected to prayer. Fasting should always be connected to our prayer. And when we fast, know that we need to pray that Satan does not harm our family. We need to ask that God guard us and keep us safe. It is supposed to be a self-sacrificing expression of humility. Okay? Think about it. Let's look at Psalms 35:13 and Joel 2:12 and 13. So, and Jesus said there was no need to fast while he was among them because Jesus was there. So there was no need to fast. So if we're fasting to seek God's will, answer to a prayer, what should I do with my life? Which school should I go to? Should I get a home loan for this? Should I sign some paper that I'm wondering if I should agree to, a loan or whatever? So you can pray and fast. Now, when you break that fast is up to you. Sometimes I have broken a fast thinking I feel at peace about it. And when you feel at peace about something, I think you have peace that God's going to take care of this when he's ready. Sometimes he says yes, no, and maybe to our prayers. So we can be fasting. You can't just change God's mind. He's got a plan. And we should trust his plan, right? We should trust that he's going to come up with the right solution for our problem. So sometimes I've broken my fast when I'm at peace that God's will is going to be when it's there. And I think a verse that comes to mind is Acts 13:31. So fasting, though, is a way that we say no to ourselves, no to the fleshly things, so that God knows that we're serious about looking to him. So when you fast, and you fast for spiritual breakthrough, I think you just need to realize, and sometimes you can get so upset in turmoil about things, you want to fast. I can almost hear God calling me sometimes. Okay? And I think sometimes when we fast, we should go without physical pleasures. Riding a roller coaster, going to Six Flags, something like that. You shouldn't, if you're fasting, pleasures should be denied. Because you would want that. You would want to show God that you're saying no to things, to get in touch with him, to seek his will. What is his will? Is his will no to your prayer? But trusting him to give us a peace about the future. Well, I couldn't even reach for the pause button. Hope y'all have a good week. I'll see you next week. Bye.